That's another question.
Okay, guys. So,
Why would you
back to
fall?
lasagna gardening.
Why would you want to be
All right,
one
so
of us?
this is on broccoli.
You don't mean that.
I don't.
I'm not going to try to
Bunch of
sell you on the merits of
miserable
broccoli,
bastards,
but it is a
mean,
truly
scrapping,
wonderful vegetable to
confused,
grow.
afraid.
No, there's
Cruciferous vegetables,
loyalty,
guys,
forgiveness,
have a lot of
love,
very helpful
chocolate cake,
benefits.
Guilt.
sex.
Because it tends to be a heavy feeder and
Lady over
thrives in
there.
rich soil, broccoli grows best in lasagna gardens. Site and soil.
I mean it.
Grow broccoli in
Every
full sun,
understanding,
in a
even
lasagna
backwards.
bed rich with compost and frequent additions of
That's
manure.
why I fell.
Prepare the bed in the fall for spring planting. Start your own plants from seed in the late winter or buy transplants. You want them to be about 4 weeks old when you set them out. As soon as you can work in the garden. Broccoli plants can withstand a lot of cold if you've hardened them off properly. See handling hardening off. And we'll go over that. Before planting, give the transplants liquid kelp to get your broccoli crop off to a good start. Set the plants out 18 to 24 inches apart in a zigzag pattern to make the most of your growing space. Make a 2-inch deep trench along the rows, add a sprinkling of bone meal to the trench, and cover with soil. Now, that would work in square foot gardening too. To just add that in, like, kind of around where your broccoli plant is in the middle, because it's one broccoli plant per square foot. Add a 2-inch layer of mulch and lay a sheet of floating row cover over the plants to protect them from the cabbage looper moth. You can also plant the companion plants around it that will keep that away from it as well. Tips and time savers. Broccoli grows best when covered with a generous layer of organic mulch, but if you're really pressed for growing space, try growing your leaf lettuce around your broccoli plants to act as a living and harvestable mulch. It's good to know. Double the yield. To increase your harvest of side shoots, cut off the main broccoli head when it is tight and still small. Care. Applying a layer of mulch when you plant and adding to it at weekly intervals keep the soil cool and moist and prevent weeds from sprouting. Harvesting. Broccoli plants produce one large center head and lots of small side shoots. Cut the main head with about 5 inches of stem with a clean, sharp knife. Eating. One of my favorite ways to prepare broccoli is simply to steam it and serve with fresh lemon wedges. It is good that way. Another favorite is to saute 2 cups of trimmed broccoli florets and stems with 6 cloves of crushed garlic and 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Nope, don't use olive oil because it turns to a carcinogen. In another pot, prepare angel hair pasta. Cook the broccoli and garlic exactly as long as you cook the pasta. Drain the pasta. Then mix in the broccoli, garlic, and oil. Do not do the olive oil. Alright. Cabbage, carrots, and cauliflower. Oh my. Cabbage, carrots, and cauliflower are the 3 crops I usually don't give space to because they are so labor intensive and take a long time to mature. In addition, they are plentiful and cheap at the market. However, there are exceptions. One year, for instance, I ordered broccoli plants and got cabbage by mistake. I planted them in front of the perennial bed. They got a generous helping of mulch, and except for a glance now and then, nothing else. I grew big solid cabbages that year. I grew regular carrots once. They were labor intensive. What with all that thinning and such, and the leaf mulch to carry them through the winter was 3 feet high. Yes, they were the sweetest root vegetables I've ever tasted, but this book isn't about how hard you can work, but how easy. My exceptions are short-rooted, fast-maturing carrots that I can harvest during the normal growing season. Baby Spikes, Littlefinger are sweet and dependable. Both of these short-rooted carrots can grow fine in a new lasagna bed. My family won't eat cauliflower, so don't bother with it. I love it, so especially the purple cauliflower. But if your family feels differently, the growing guidelines for broccoli should work equally well for this relative. The one difference is that cauliflower needs to be blanched to produce those white heads. When the heads are about 2 inches across, pull the leaves up over them and gather the leaves with a string or rubber band. The heads will be ready to pick 4 to 7 days after tying, and this is what they're talking about. Right there. Alright, now, as far as, like, what they're talking about with, you know, like the garden space and that kind of thing, the square foot gardening works really, really well with carrots and cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts. So, I've grown carrots really well in square foot gardening, and it works well with cabbage. I think just this year I'm going to make sure that I actually get my plants grown up into seedlings, you know, probably that big, before I plant them. So, alright, so that was broccoli, and the next one is on cucumbers. I'm going to get this one up there, and I will see you guys in a few minutes on the next one. I'll do cucumbers out of here. I may do, like, dive in and do a few out of here, since we haven't done this one in a while. I know I'll do the cucumbers, and we'll just go from there. Alright, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Bye, guys.